like to welcome you all here to the Daytona International Speedway, where the Trucks and the Cora Sunday Money Series is running what I believe to be the last race of the regular season. My name is Marcus Babb. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Mr. Alan Larson. Alan, how do you think these guys are going to run?
Well, time will tell. We'll see. They've all had a season together here, and or most of them have anyway. We've got a few new faces tonight, but let's take a look at the point standings here and see how things are looking.
Points is certainly something these drivers are going to want to keep in mind. Whenever you talk Daytona or Talladega, you're talking high speeds and 2, 3, sometimes 4 wide racing. The big one is not a question of if it'll happen, but when.
Yeah, no doubt. There's definitely, you got to anticipate the big one here sometime during the night. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here getting my points up, but as soon as I do, we'll get you that.
Here at Daytona, you're looking at 2.5 miles for these drivers to negotiate. Front straightaway length of 3,800 feet, back straightaway of 3,000 feet, sometimes called the super stretch. 31-degree banking in the corners and 18 degrees on the front stretch at the start-finish line.
Yeah, anyway, we got the points up here now. Sorry about the delay there. We got Dale Smalley. He's still the points leader. He's 53 out ahead of Michael Churchma. Then we got Dallas Miracle, 143 behind in third. Then we got Gary Bauer. He's 155 points back. Then Galen Gidman, he stands in fifth right now at 179 points back. Then Ben Manning, he's 246 points back. Michael Johnson, 253. Close battle there for 8th place, 7th and 8th with Nathan Sedlak. He's in 8th at 258 back. Then Everett D. Lane, he's 258 back. He's actually tied with Nathan. Then Jay Anderson is in 10th at 259 points. And that's your top 10 in points right now, going into the chase that starts next week.
It's going to be real interesting to see how them top 2 drivers, possibly even the top 3, make it happen here at Daytona. Like I had stated earlier, it's not a question of if, but when the big one will happen. And if it happens early enough, that could shake things up at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely there, Marcus. We're winding down here definitely towards the end of the season, and they're very well could be somebody new move into that 10th place in position too, so we kind of want to keep an eye on that too. I think it's Travis Brown is hanging on to 12th place there, and Mark Montanari is not Mark. Mark's not with us tonight. Garrett Denton or Michael Vandesal, any one of them could possibly move up into the top 10 tonight.
Guys on the bubble back there, 11th and 12th place in points, certainly something to keep an eye on, as these drivers tonight are going 101 laps around this 2.5 mile long oval.
And last but not least, we do have Joe Cortez here in the booth with us. Welcome, Joe.
Alan, Marcus, glad to be back in the booth with you guys. Tonight's race critical for the guys trying to make the chase tonight. A lot of money involved on the line, and not just the money involved in every week here in the Sunday Money Series. The chase, of course, paying out $125 to the ultimate champion. So tonight's race could decide who walks away with a lot of money at the end of the season. We always joke about go pay or win on Sunday, go to the bank on Monday. Well, it could be win tonight and go to the bank in 3 weeks' time with a much bigger check.
Yeah, no doubt there, Joe. That's definitely everybody's ultimate goal for sure. That's going to be participating in this chase here that starts next week.
Jay starts next week. Let's go ahead and go through the points real quick. Dale Smalley still at the top of the board. Michael Churchma not in a position to challenge him for that top position, but could very easily at least put a little pressure on him. 53 points back. Dallas Miracle, who's missed the last two Sunday Money races, is still in third. Gary Bauer now in fourth. Galen Gidman picks up a position from last week in fifth. Ben Manning, after a great finish, picks up 3 positions. He's now in sixth. Michael Johnson, Nathan Sedlak, Evan Lane, and Jay Anderson rounding out your top 10 here in the Sunday Money Series. And guys, every week we talk about it. Every week we talk about the consistent finish, but tonight it's really win or go home.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is. It's definitely that situation coming down to the end of the chase here.
And Marcus, as our competitor here in Cora, you understand it maybe better than others. You understand how important it is to have that consistent finish, but tonight the pressure is just that much more on.
Yeah, it really makes it tough. I mean, you're out there 2, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide. And at a track this size, I had mentioned 2.5 miles long straights, a lot of speed. I said it here, it'll be 3 times. We're probably going to be talking about it all night, but it's not a question of, if the big one will happen, but when. And it's certainly something to keep your knuckles white about on the steering wheel.
Now, tonight's race is the Daytona 250 in the trucks, in the truck mod here in iRacing. And last time we did the trucks was at the Border Wars, brought to you by LSR TV. Travis Brown walking away with the win. The American team walking away with the ultimate team win in the Border Wars. We saw a lot of very competitive racing. This will be the first race in the 4 races that we're back at a super speedway, and this is really going to challenge a lot of drivers' abilities. Let's start with you, Alan, about the challenge that these drivers are going to face here at the super speedway. You race in the Border Wars. You're aware of how hard it is to drive in that condition under the trucks. What kind of racing are we going to see tonight?
We're going to see a lot of white knuckle racing there, Joe. It's, seat of the pants, white knuckle, just hang on for dear life, and hope somebody else doesn't make a mistake, because one mistake can cause the big one. And like Marcus said, it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Marcus, you said it best right there. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When do you anticipate this big one happening, and how damaging is it going to be in these trucks for those who are caught in it to recover?
Well, I mean, we always talk about coming down to the line. I expect, from what I've seen through the week, watching these guys practice here, it'll be quiet for a couple laps, getting into it, and it's really going to start to come into play here. I think the last 15, 20 laps is guys, watch who they can draft with, watch who they can't. You're going to see trucks start to get linked up, and they're going to start racing hard.
A lot of hard racing going to happen tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. A lot of great racing. And again, I think more importantly, it's not going to be who walks away with the $50 at the end of the night. It's going to be, I think, the bigger prize tonight, even though it's only $5, is going to be the person who walks away with the $5 for being the safe driver.
Yeah, it's awfully hard when you're on these super speedways, to be a safe driver. I mean, Alan mentioned it. It's you're getting out there and running these laps. It's going to be tight. You're gonna hope that the guy in front of you doesn't make a mistake, and if he does make a mistake, you're gonna hope that you have the lightning fast reflexes to keep yourself clean.
Let's go ahead and take it down trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And of course, the Cactus Cuties and the Virtual Thunderbirds doing our national anthem tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. Before we continue, let's go ahead and kick it over to our Chief Operating Officer here at Cora Racing, Kevin McCarthy, who's got an announcement from our race 2 weeks ago.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin McCarthy. I'm the Chief Officiator of Cora, Championship Online Racing Association. Last week's race, short track event, we had a shortcoming, which was Jake Griffin was taken out of the race due to some misinformation, believing that he wasn't qualified when he had qualified for it. We want to apologize to him and his sponsors. We've allowed Jake to be in the next 2 Sunday Moneys without having to pay for entry fee as a token of our misgivings, and we hope that his sponsors aren't too put out by what happened at that event. We take sole responsibility for that. We're putting some checks and balances to make sure that this type of thing doesn't happen again. And once again, we'd like to apologize to Jake Griffin and his sponsors for having him removed from last week's qualifier and Sunday Money series.
Chief Operating Officer Kevin McCarthy with an announcement here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. To find out more about that and the Sunday Money Series, visit Cora-Racing.com. Cora-Racing.com. 101 laps about to commiserate here at Daytona International Speedway. Let's go ahead and take you down the qualifying order. On the front row, 07 of Gary Bauer, qualifying at the time of 47.367 seconds. On the outside of him, third in points, Dallas Miracle starts on the outside of row number 1.
Mark Moffitt's going to start in that number 10 machine inside second row into third position. David Wink in the number 20 starting to his outside. Michael Vanazdal starting in the 83. He's going to be the the last truck in the top 5 starting. And Eric Sharp in the 86 will be starting his outside in 6th.
Travis Brown will start in the inside of row number 4. Outside of him, Dale Smalley, your points leader, starts 8th. Michael Churchma, the man second in points, starts 9th. Outside of him, in the 19 machine, Jay Anderson starts 10th.
Daniel Miller in the 06 starting 11th. Ross Cato in the 30 will be starting 12th. Galen Gidman in the 04 will be starting 13th. Garrett Atwell in the 4 will be starting 14th.
Colton Burke 15th. Everett Lane will start 16th. Nathan Sedlak, Ben Manning, James Brown, Mark McFadden rounds out your top 20. Martin Boulder, James Wilkins, Rex Buchanan, David Parks, Michael Whitlock, your top 25. In the next 5, Dale Cronkright, Joel Wood, TJ Graves, John Pansula, the last one taking time on the field, starting 29th. Ryan Borges starting 30th. Gordon Berkey, Jeremy Glover, both electing not to take time here at Daytona International Speedway. They'll start at the very tail end of this field. 32 cars will start tonight on the lead lap. Pace car is in. It's all in the hands of Gary Bauer to start 101 laps here around Daytona International Speedway. Green flag flies, and we are underway. 32 trucks here at Daytona about to take turn number 1. 2 by 2 they go in. And so far, so good as they continue to run side by side, double file through turn number 1 and 2. And Gary Bauer has the advantage, and they're starting to bunch up behind Dallas Miracle and company. Low line seems to be the place to be right now.
Yeah, there's a couple trucks up on that outside. It looks to be about 4 now. Taking the lead is going to be the 48 machine of Dallas Miracle going into 3.
Dallas Miracle finds something to work for him on the high side. He's got to push from the 20 machine of David Wenk out there. But 4 trucks do not necessarily a draft make. Now you see Dallas Miracle drop to the low side. He will lead lap number 2, lap number 1 officially on the boards for him, an extra point and 1 lap closer to $50 payday here in the Sunday Money Series. Now a challenge immediately on the outside. That is David Wenk in the number 20 machine, immediately pushing him. Behind him, Eric Sharp in the 86, giving him the advantage. Drag race down the back, and Miracle has to go down over the line. He's going to go hurting after a wrong push. That's going to open the door for the 20 of Wenk. 86 jumps along for the ride. Eric Sharp in the 86 machine. David Wenk will lead lap number 2 officially, and he'll score an extra point.
Them 2 trucks with a good push there on the outside to seal the deal, dropping down in front of the 07 and Gary Bauer. The 10 truck of Mark Moffat's going to look to get hooked up with him as they go back into 1.
10 trucks now on the lead line. That will be your first draft. David Wenk leaving them around. Eric Sharp immediately on his tail. And now there's Dallas Miracle. 3 trucks front to back, front to back. It looks like they were a freight train running in unison out there down the back straightaway. It's all up to David Wenk right now, continuing to lead that group. Eric Sharp in the 86 machine doesn't want to do anything to jeopardize all that. Your top 10 starting to break away from the rest of the group. The next trucks are out there are Jay Anderson in the 18 machine running 11th, Nathan Sedlak and Galen Gidman 12th and 13th respectively. Then all the way back through the field, everybody running single file. I don't believe that the gravity of the situation is lost on these drivers. It's a last race before the chase. It's a super speedway, and in order to finish first, you must finish in the first place. I don't think these drivers are going to make any risky moves early in this race in order to jeopardize a possible finish here at Daytona.
Hey, here's a trivia question for you there, Joe. Who was the one that claimed that to finish first you must finish?
That's excellent question, and if you're asking me honestly, I'm gonna to credit my longtime partner in crime, Tony Stevens, but that's probably wrong.
No. Actually, that was a phrase coined by Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle, that racing legend, and he's got a very legitimate point out here, Alan. If you got to finish in order to finish in the first place out here at Daytona. Jay Anderson in the 18 machine now starting to fall victim to the draft out there. Nobody to help him on the outside. He's going to start falling through this field like a rock in a pond. Jay Anderson going to go ahead and go to the tail end of that line. Right now, he'll be scored in around the 15th position. Ross Cato, the last person to pass him on that low line. So Jay Anderson trying to find some work on the high side. He's got the run. Now you see him getting around the 30 machine of Cato. He's got a run, but he needs more than just a run on the stretches in order to climb this ladder.
Yeah, he's going to have some help up there on the outside, one by one as these trucks go down the back stretch, sometimes called the super stretch, 3,000 feet in length into turn 1. And now we see Jay Anderson. He's going to drop in line in the back of that lead pack.
John Pansula in the 61 machine currently scored 24th. He was complaining about the way this car handles in the clean air. He's saying that they've got to figure out which line they want to run and how they want to run it if they're going to be effective in that group. He's in a group with TJ Graves, a regular here in the Sunday Money Series. Mark McFadden, Ben Manning, both regulars here in the Cora Sunday Money Series. These guys, I think, have a good idea in being in the back group so far and being able to figure out how to make this run and try to avoid that big one. But I think also, that being said, John Pansula has a point. They need to find the fast line and they need to run it consistently if they want to keep up with your top 10, all running single file like a freight train in the night.
Yeah, I want to mention, too, that there's a couple of drivers that had been a staple here in the Cora Series that we haven't seen in a while that decided to join tonight. And good to see him racing again. That would be the number 20, the leader right now. And number 2, Eric Sharp. You know, he's been away for a little while, so it's really good to see them back in the saddle again.
Eric Sharp not only, David Wenk and Eric Sharp not only in the saddle, but in control of this entire race, continuing to run first and second on this field in those Silverados. Out front, Dallas Miracle third, Gary Bauer fourth, Mark Maffin rounding out your top five, and nobody making a move outside of that low line. Everyone's still working in that low line right now and working in order to keep that draft moving as fast as they can. Let's go ahead and go back, though, to position number 18 with the 43 of Rex Buchanan. You see just how much the aerodynamics here and the draft affect him. If you look up from the bumper cam of the 19 machine of Joel Wood, you can see the heavy damage, the back end damage, the bent in tailgate on the 43 of Rex Buchanan. Anywhere else, he would be able to make do with that. But here, aerodynamics are everything, and keeping up with the draft is everything. The 19 of Joel Wood, a little bit faster than the 43 of Rex Buchanan, and part of that is because those aerodynamics. Without that ability to keep in the draft and keep that car, the downforce on that truck, he's not going to be able to be as competitive as he wants to be.
Aerodynamics being everything here at a super speedway where they reach these high speeds upwards of 200 miles an hour, and it's going to be rough with that truck there for Rex to see if it'll come into handling for him as he goes into one.
Shifting now, starting in the top five. Dallas Miracle's going to try the outside. Dale Smalley, your points leader, going to try it as well with him in the 69 machine. Behind the Michael Churchman in the 88. The top three in points are going to go high down the super stretch at Daytona. Up front, David Wenk, Eric Sharp, Gary Bauer, all still running single file in line, top three. But now Dallas Miracle in the 48, the Dale Smalley in the 69, and Michael Churchman in the 88. They're starting to get a draft of their own, and they're starting to charge up towards the leader. Can three cars make a difference in the long draft behind them on the low line?
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be too long before Dale Smalley and Dallas Miracle found each other here. They're known as quite the super speedway pair. They really, I've seen them two put on a clinic here at the super speedways.
Let's go back to the border wars that you were a part of, Alan, as you see the 48 and 6 was not giving the push to the 48, and the 48 making his way up front, now chasing the 20 up front. Miracle on the outside, and it's going to be Eric Sharp on David Wenk, check out on the inside, and the 48 just has the big advantage. The 69 giving him the shove all the way down the front stretch. Dallas Miracle will be your leader on lap number 12. Dale Smalley second, David Wenk third, but here comes Michael Churchman on the 88. He's no longer got the help that he had. He needs to find a way back in line. Let's go back to the border wars that you were a part of there, Alan. We saw those two names up front throughout most of the night. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, representing their respective countries, and all night they were strong and they were able to compete. Tonight, are we going to see much of the same from Miracle and Smalley?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Them two, when they get on the super speedways, I'm not going to say that they're unbeatable, but man, they're definitely strong. They're probably a couple of the strongest super speedway racers that participate in the Sunday Money Series.
Smalley now making the pass on Dallas Miracle. Looks like they made that swap methodically, and now Dale Smalley will pick up a point for leading one lap if he can hold on through turns 3 and 4, which every indication is he will. But Dallas Miracle immediately on his rear bumper. David Wenk, who was leading several laps there, now relegated to the third place position. It looks like your top 15 now all running in line with each other out there, and it looks like these guys are not going to give up any position. Let's go ahead and go on board with the 48 of Dallas Miracle. You see just how close he is to Dale Smalley. If those guys were on a tow bar with each other, you wouldn't know it. That's how close they're running with each other.
Certainly the way you run a run here, get that nose of the truck tucked up behind your drafting partner, who will be out front, and keep it tucked up, keep it snug, maybe swing off to the left or the right in a corner, get some air to that grill. These trucks can only go about 3 or 4 laps here before you have to start worrying about water temps and worrying about saving that engine. That's where them methodical swaps come into play as they enter the corners.
17 trucks working through on the front group now here at the Daytona International Speedway. This is the Cora Sunday Money Race here at Daytona, the last race before the changes. You see the 48 of Dallas Miracle blink out a little bit. Let's talk real quick, guys. It sounds like, from what I understand, we have at least one truck now in trouble on pit access road. Not exactly sure which truck that is. Meanwhile, up front, it looks like they're making another swap once again. Dallas Miracle back up front, and it could not be the switch they want, as here comes David Wenk on the low side. Eric Sharp joining him as well. They almost had the run going in there, but Dale Smalley and Dallas Miracle just too strong on that front group. They will break away, and they will put a truck length between themselves and David Wenk.
A truck length it will be for your leader, Dale Smalley and Dallas Miracle. Eric Sharp, they're running fourth. If he's going to help out David Wenk, he's got to get up to that bumper as the trucks go into one. That's where Dallas Miracle and Dale Smalley has been putting this gap on the rest of your field.
We talked about aerodynamics earlier. Let's go back to truck number 4. That's Garrett Atwell. He's currently trying to run the outside with Everett Lane in the number 1 truck. Those guys, 2 trucks do not a draft make. They just don't have the horsepower between them to keep up with a 15-truck freight train in front of them. They're going to be forced to drop back in the line, but not without losing a little bit of position between them. Another truck trying the outside lane with absolutely nothing to lose is Ben Manning in the 67 machine. Or check that, it's going to be John Pansula in the 61 machine. He ran the outside for the better part of 2 laps. It wasn't meant to be for him, however, as he's forced to go back into line and back to try to see if he can get these guys in front of him to start running forward to catch up with that big freight train in front of him. Guys, aerodynamics here are everything, and it's a matter of the haves and have-nots. If you have the draft, you can be competitive. If not, you got to figure out something in a hurry to try to get up there and compete with the drivers that are.
Yeah, I see some of these trucks starting back about the 18th position. Seems like they're trying to get that tandem draft to work that worked a couple years ago with the Gen 6 cars. Not really making up any ground with it, though.
The tandem draft now working strong with the nationwide cars, not so much with the trucks or the Gen 6 cars. You know, I know both of you have run each of these cars at either the cars and the truck, respectively, at Daytona. Now 61 now sounds like he's in trouble out there. The 61 machine of Bansula running 22nd, barely avoids trouble. He will continue to run out there, but it sounds like he's not happy with the setup he's got underneath him. And as you see the replay now on the screen, it all happened in front of him between the blue truck. That's Rex Buchanan and Joel Wood. Buchanan trying to make the pass on Wood, not happening. He's going to have to save it and get back up front. Mansula is able to save it in the 61 machine. Now they continue to run, and now because of that, they're starting to shake it up through the field. Let's go back now to about the 8th position. Travis Brown in the 33, under fire from the 88 of Michael Churchman. Nathan Sedlak giving him the push. Daniel Miller wants to help, but not really able to out there. The tandem of Travis, of Sedlak and Churchman, just too strong on the outside.
Working a lap vehicle here coming out of 4 as Churchma and Brown are, that was tight. Churchma and Brown now found a hole down on the inside, and they're going to tuck back in line. One by one, they're going to go again.
That lap truck is the 54 of Daryl Cronk right out there. He looks like he's having a little bit of electrical issues now at this point. He's the first truck, scored 1 lap down on this field, and he's only got more trouble behind him as the 64 machine of Michael Whitlock gets around the 00 of James Brown. James Brown now starting to drop out there through the field. He's going to give away 3 positions to Whitlock, Joel Wood, and Mr. Excitement himself, TJ Graves, as they try to figure out what's the fastest line for them. They're starting to experiment and flirt with a high line. They end up bringing all those trucks back down to the low line, so they're trying to figure out where they need to be and how they need to be there to catch up with your main draft. Meanwhile, back in the main draft, more jockeying for position happening right now as you see the number 33 machine That is Travis Brown work with a 0-6 of Daniel Miller. They're trying to get a run on the outside and break up a little bit on that draft we've had for so long in this group, but they're really not making any headway. The good news is for them, they're not losing any headway either.
As they do make up a little bit of ground going into 3, your leaders out front still going to be Dallas Miracle in the 48, Dale Smalley in that 69 machine. They are going to be about 3-4 truck lengths ahead of that truck of the 20 truck of David Wink. And now looking back to the 33 of Travis Brown and his drafting partner, they're making some headway on the outside.
Dale Smalley, Michael Dallas Miracle still in square control of this race here at Daytona. 22 laps in of 101. So still plenty of racing left to go. David Wink, Eric Sharp, Gary Bauer, your top 5. And don't look now, but on the outside, here comes the 33 machine of Travis Brown. Check out the 06 machine of Daniel Miller, also with him as well, and they're starting to make a run towards the top 5. Tandem drafting, we saw it work with the Nationwide car. It doesn't necessarily work with the Gen 6 car anymore, but these guys are making it work with the truck. How is that working, guys?
You get down there close to them trucks running the inside, you pick up a little bit of side draft. I have seen that little bit of side draft pull trucks to the front in some of the practice races that these guys run getting ready for these big Sunday money races. I've seen trucks go from 10th, 11th, 12th and get tucked in there to that right side door, and to the front they go.
The 86 machine, 06 machine now looks like he got too close to that 33 machine. The 06 starting to drop through traffic. Daniel Miller might be without an engine. That truck is losing a whole lot of speed. Daniel Miller, his engine is gone in that machine. He's able to save it, which is good news. There's no caution flag out on the field. But the bad news is he hurts Travis Brown's opportunity for getting in front of this group. Without that second truck giving him the push, he is as good as gone. Replay up on this will be up on the screen momentarily. The 03, you see it now, the 06 machine of Daniel Miller, puff of smoke out underneath the hood, and that engine is done on the 06 machine. Daniel Miller, who was a good hard charger throughout this race, they're going to pull it down on pit road now. Heavy smoke coming out of the cockpit of the 06 machine. His night, for all intents and purposes, done. Hard way to go out, guys.
Yeah, real hard. That's what I was talking about earlier. These trucks can only run about 3 or 4 laps before they need to make that switch. Oftentimes you'll see that switch done going into the corner, as it's a little easier to get it done that way with these trucks carrying a little less speed in the corners. And it looks like the 06 of Daniel Miller may have used that one reset to get back on the track.
Daniel Miller now treading very dangerous ground, uses his one reset to get back on the speedway here at Daytona. He will be eligible for the Lucky Dog if a caution comes out. He has currently scored 1 lap down. Darrell Cronkright in the 54, 4 laps down as they go 4 wide momentarily. They try to, as they use that speed to get around him. 3 wide now, around 64 around, 0-0 around, trouble on track, 0-0 on its roof. Trouble, heavy damage for that 0-0 machine of James Brown. Caution flag out. James Brown, heavy damage as a result of that lap down car coming back on the track. Starts after contact with the 64 and the 18.
Yeah, that's that question of if not, or if. It's not a question of if, but when. It may not be the biggest one we see here, but it certainly took out a lot of trucks as we go to the replay now.
You see the replay up on your screen. 3 wide going into turns with 3 and 4 out there. It all starts with the 79 of Joel Wood on the outside, bumps into the 64 machine. That belongs to Michael Whitlock. James Brown then gets bumped back. The 64 goes back into Joel Wood in the 79. That sort of effect creates a pinball effect for the 64 machine, causes the 0-0 to get into the ball as well. Heavy damage for the 0-0, heavy damage for the 79. And and the 17 machine, all those cars, heavy damage. Good news for them is they do have the reset if they want to take it. James Brown is pulled behind the wall. He is done for the night. Michael Whitlock, I believe, has used his reset, and the 79 machine of Joel Wood. He has not yet come down pit road, but heavy front end damage. He might want to consider burning his his reset now. First caution flag of the night as a result of 4 wide racing on the track.
I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 wide, and lap vehicles could certainly be a part of that 4 wide racing. It's going to be interesting here to see who takes tires, who don't. This track does use tires a little more than its sister track, Talladega. So it'll be interesting to see what the leaders choose.
None of the leaders electing to come in yet. We will probably see them come down when they come around, when the pace car leads them around the entrance, this time by Dallas Miracle, currently sitting in the lead. He has indicated he's going to come down. Dale Smalley will follow him down. David Wenk in the 20. The 86 of Sharp will follow him. The 07 of Bauer, Maffett. Everybody on that lead group will go ahead and follow him down pit road. So now it's a matter of who takes what and how they manage it. Dallas Miracle will lead them down. Will it be a 2-tire stop? Will it be a 4-tire stop? Let's see as he comes to the attention of his crew.
Dallas Miracle taking that trip 55 mile an hour down pit road. He is going to have the second pit box from the end. That should help him out a little bit. Truck's up in the air now. See right side's going on. Around to the left side the crew goes. He is going to take 4 tires.
Dale Smalley elected to take 4 tires as well. The 88 of Michael Churchma. It looks like he was fuel only for his stop. He did not take any tires out there. Fuel only for the 88. They're trying to get out front and try to lead some laps out here. Going out on first, it was David Wenk getting out first. Gary Bauer second. Michael Vandesall third. Garrett Sharp fourth. And Michael Churchman no tires. He will escape fifth from the pit road.
It's going to be interesting to see that no tire call by a couple guys. It's going to be interesting to see how that holds up here on the restart.
Currently scoring lap 28 under the first caution flag of the evening. Plenty of racing left to go here at Daytona. It is the last race before the Sunday Money Series chase for the championship and $125. But tonight, $50 on the line for the winner. Who's going to take it? We'll find out when we return. You're watching LSR TV's live coverage of the Cora Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series live from Daytona. Stay tuned, race fans. We'll be back with more after this.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR high racing. Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Cora Sunday Money Series here at Daytona. 28 laps currently being scored right now at Daytona. 3/4 of a race left to go, plus or minus. The 06 machine of Daniel Miller in front of that line, and he will stay there when we restart in about a lap or so. The officials ruling that the 06 of Daniel Miller was at fault for coming in the middle of those racing trucks to begin that incident in the first place. Joel Wood being scored with the incident. He will start at the end of the longest line on the lead lap, so he should start about 26th, 27th on this field. But Daniel Miller is going to be in a very precarious position as he will not get the wave around.
Not getting the wave around is something at a 2.5 mile track you certainly hope for if you are not involved in the caution, but being a part of the caution oftentimes will waive that privilege you have of being the wave around car, and it sure makes it tough.
Daniel Miller now passing the pace car. He will get a wave around, but it looks like he will continue to be scored at least one lap down, so he will not get his lap back. After blowing his engine earlier in the race, he'll have to find a way to get it back in some other way, shape, or form, which is very dangerous for him because he does not have another reset he can use on this field. David Wenck, Gary Bauer will restart on the front row. Michael Vandesal, Eric Sharp behind him. Dallas Miracle, Mark Math at 5th and 6th. Michael Churchma, Nathan Sedlak the row behind him. In row number 5, Dale Smalley and Galen Gidman. Michael Churchman now and Dale Smalley on the same row. Dallas Miracle in front of them. Those three drivers are a recipe for disaster for everybody else. Not that they'll wreck them, but they will I'm sure they will find an easy way to get up front, especially all starting nose to tail to each other.
Dale Smalley is a phenomenal drafter. He knows how to get that truck up underneath the truck ahead of him, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in that inside line. If they get a good jump, you can count on Dale Smalley to be there as the pace car now dives off.
Pace car will come down pit road momentarily. It'll be David Wenck, Gary Bauer, Michael Vandesal, Eric Sharp restarting. Pace car down on pit road, all in the hands of David Wenck. He's waiting for the restart. Here he goes. Green flag flies. David Wenck now in control of this race. Michael Vandesal immediately behind him. Low line gets the big jump once again, but high line not being quick to dissipate this time around. Still 6 trucks at least on the high side. Everybody else ducks low. I think they got a feeling that they can pass high here. And that second car out there on the field, that is Nathan Sedlak, I believe. Check that. That's going to be the number 40 machine, the reserve machine of Gary Bauer. He's got to run on the outside. He knows he can pass on the outside. He wants to make it happen. Strike while the iron is hot for the 07 machine. The problem is the iron's cooling very, very quickly as that low line continues to run hard.
The low line runs hard. Gary Bauer's drafting partner out there is going to be, it looks like it's going to be Eric Sharp in the 86 machine is out there trying to make the outside line work. Looks like these trucks are going back to get in that single file run and just kind of ride around here. The white knuckling steering, I know for a fact, can get your hands hurting over 100 laps. And we'll see how it pans out.
The 07 machine of Gary Bauer was officially scored as your leader last time around. Since he has lost it, now going to turns 3 and 4, and it's a battle for the lead once again between the 07 and the 20 of David Wenck. Gary Bauer still trying to figure out how he's going to run on that outside. Does not have the draft up that the low line has, but yet he still might find a way on that high side to steal away the lead. This time by, he was not scored on the lead. It was David Wenck, your leader that time by, but now here comes the 07, getting the big shove from the 86. They have the run going into 1 and 2, but the high side without that much horsepower, not able to hold on to it. Up there, the 20 of David Wenck continuing to hold on. Now here comes the 83 and the 48 of Dallas Miracle. Debating making the 3 wide for just a moment. He's going to join the outside draft and try to help them get around your leader. Churchman not electing to go down, but here comes Dale Smalley on the outside. He's going to elect to try to help if he can catch up to the 48 of Dallas Miracle.
Looks like the outside line may be coming together here, which will set us up for a 2x2x2 all the way back through what looks to be like about 10th place right now. These leaders as they cross the line that time through, it's going to be scored Gary Bauer again in the 07 on that outside line with David Wink, his drafting partner.
The number 69 of Dale Smalley, he wants to catch up. He is your defending champion here in the Sunday Money Series. He wants to catch up. He wants to defend his points lead, but he doesn't have the horses behind him. Now here come the number 35 of Sedlak, and behind them the 04 of Galen Gidman. They're going to do everything they can to help out the 69 of Dale Smalley, but it might be too little, too late, as those 5 trucks just don't have the run they had several laps ago. Your leader, the 07 of Gary Bauer, now dropping to the low line, and that's going to give them a lot of help, especially battling the trucks on the high side, trying to get around the 07.
Dropping to the low line is Bauer. He's going to drop down there in front of David Wink in that 20 machine. That outside line, once again, being led by, it looks like it's going to be Dallas Miracle leading that outside line, trying to make something work up there. I just don't know if they're quite tight enough to get the pull that they need. That inside line is looking really good right now.
Inside line, the strongest line right now, as Bauer continues to lead here on lap 35. David Wank working with him as well. Vandersall in the 83 machine. Third, the highlights starting to dissipate. Eric Sharp now coming out. Caution flag on the field for the second time tonight. And I've got a feeling it's going to involve the 64 Michael Whitlock, the 06 of Daniel Miller around once again. Big trouble coming out of 1 and 2 in the back of the field. Starting with a 06 and 43, collecting at least 5 trucks in the process.
Looks like it's going to be about 5 trucks. Yep.
Replay on your screen now. It starts with the 06 of Daniel Miller and the 43 machine. That belongs to Rex Buchanan. Both those drivers making contact coming off the backstretch into the 3 and 4. The 43 trying to make the pass on the 06. Follow the 00 through the turn. Not happening. 06 bumps into him on the low side. Gets sideways. Knocks into the 43. The 43 knocks into the 64. 64 knocks into the 79 of Joel Wood. And that's going to cause major havoc off the exit of turn number 4 going into the tri-oval out there. Second caution flag out for the night. And guys, this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. This is the hard racing we were talking about that's going to lead to these major incidents.
Major incidents at high speed, certainly worried about driver safety while they're out there. You know, from a driver's standpoint at this track, it's difficult to get behind the wheel and go out there, make something happen, and all at the same time, you know, when you're out there praying that the guy to your left or your right or in front of you or behind you, well, not behind you, but, you know, your left or right or in front of you doesn't make a mistake and get you caught up in it.
The 64, Michael Whitlock, heavy smoke pouring out of that machine. He will not be able to make it back down to Pant Road. Max Buchanan using his reset to get back on track. Joel Wood just trying to make the best he can of the situation he's in to try to get back on track. Those guys, they are going to have a huge handicap in front of them to try to get back in this race and try to get back in a position where they can pick up a little bit of cash for their efforts in the Sunday Money Series. Daryl Cronkright, John Pansula, their nights might be done. John Pansula pulled it behind the garage. His night is done for the evening. Daryl Cronkright having some electrical issues on the field. He is back in the server, however, and he might be back on track in just a moment's time. Meanwhile, out front, the 07 of Gary Bauer back in control of this field. David Wank, Michael Vandersall, Eric Sharp, and Dallas Miracle, your top 5. Dale Smalley restarting in plus or minus the 7th place position. And Dale Smalley, we've talked about him all throughout this evening. He's a super speedway specialist. We're all aware of that, but he's also your multi-time defending Sunday Money Series champion. Dale Smalley, if he can have a big finish here, is there anybody that can prevent him from walking away with the Cora, the Sunday Money Championship for a consecutive time?
I would like to say that there would be, but it's going to be tough. He's been the dominator, like you said, for the last 2 years defending that title. He is going to be scored in that 7th position. these guys are out here every week, and you know as championship leader that there's going to be guys that are chasing, and there's going to be guys that are looking to knock you off that high horse. But it's going to be tough for the guys sitting behind Dale Smalley in that championship to make an impact.
Call him the Dominator, call him the Intimidator, call him Jimmy, call him what you will, but Dale Smalley's still on top of the points lead right now. Now, Alan, points will be reset after tonight's race. Tell us about how the points will be restacked once we get through the night here at Daytona.
All right. The points will be reset to all the 12. The 12 top drivers will reset to 5,000, and then the points leader will have 5,000, and then the next back, the second place in points will be 3 points behind him, and then 3 points will be back to third, and then another 3 points back to fourth, and then another and so on all the way back through the top 12.
So Dale Smalley, who does have a lock on that top position, will have a 3-point lead going into our first chase race in 1 week's time at the Coles Weekberg Truck Center at Charlotte. In these trucks, once again, Dale Smalley, he's got a lot on his shoulders right now. He doesn't have to worry. He does have to worry about having a good finish to keep his points lead, but more importantly, he wants to make sure that he proves a point here at Daytona going into the 3-race chase.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been concerned about it all week, staying in that, or not all week, all chase long, that he needed to stay in that top 12 but he hasn't been as concerned about it, knowing that he's been first, second, third through this whole series. I talked to him before the season started, and that's what he said is his main concern is staying in the top 12. Just until the chase starts. Once the chase starts, it's anybody's game.
Dale Smalley has 2 wins on the season, once in Atlanta in the trucks and the All-Star race on September 22nd at Daytona. I think it's safe to say that Dale Smalley knows a thing or two about racing trucks, guys.
He's certainly a veteran when it comes to driving these things. The wins speak for themselves, his driving speaks for itself. And you mentioned it. Call him the Intimidator, call him Jimmy. I think Jimmy was a poor reference, but that's just me. Call him what you will. He is Dale Smalley, and he is the defending champion. Looks like we're coming to 1 to go here. He's going to be restarting with that 69 machine into 7th position.
Pace car lights are off. Gary Bauer, David Wenck will start on the first row of this double file restart. Michael Vandersall, Eric Sharp behind him. Dallas Miracle third in points, right beside Michael Churchma, second in points. Then there's Dale Smalley, Mark Maffitt, Nathan Sedlak, and Ross Cato rounding out your top 10 in this field. Still plenty of racing left to go. We're only scoring lap number 39. It'll be lap number 40 when we go back to green flag racing in 2 turns time. Gary Bauer still has a lock on this field, but plenty of things can happen in 62 laps when we go back to green flag racing. We've already saw 2 major incidents. When will the third one happen? As we've learned, it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when the next major incident will happen.
Yeah, absolutely there, Joe. But I think what's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on, talking about Dale Smalley fighting for this championship, is we're going to a little bit of uncharted territory for him. In the second race of the chase, we're going to take the Indy cars to Richmond, and he's not very keen on the Indy cars. So, like I said, after this chase starts, it's anybody's game.
Gary Bauer restarts this field on lap number 39, scoring 40 when we cross the line. David Wenck immediately on his outside. It'll be a drag race on the high versus the low. Gary Bauer gets the jump, but that might not help him. He's got trucks behind him. The 20 of Derek Wenck, the 83. Check out the 86 of Eric Sharp, the 88 of Michael Churchma. Now the 10 of Mark Maffitt wants a piece of it. Side by side, they continue to race through 1 and 2. The 20 and the 07 continuing to run. The 20 has the advantage. The 86 comes along for the ride. And now here comes the 83 of Vandersall. Check out the 88 of Michael Churchma, the 86 and the 20 in tandem Drop to the low line. Churchma forced to fight for himself on his own. Now here comes the 86 of Eric Sharp. He's going to try to throw those outside guys to bone. Nonetheless, David Wink, once again, your leader on lap 40.
Yeah, Storm Motorsports has come with a vengeance. It's good to see them back in the series here, and they're all lined up there. With David Wink and let's see, who is the other Storm Motorsports? Eric Sharp and Michael Churchma. They were all lined up there on the outside, and with all the same paint schemes, it's kind of obvious that they're working together here.
Eric Sharp now getting the push from Michael Churchma. Eric Sharp will be your leader, all things considered. When we come around 2 more turns, Eric Sharp getting the push from teammate Michael Churchma, and now Star Motorsports controls the top 3 spots in tonight's race. Let's go ahead and bounce back to about position number 8, where Dallas Miracle in the 48 machine fighting with Ross Cato in the 30. Ross Cato in the 30 has a couple friends along with him, including the 04 of Galen Kidman and the 31 machine of Martin Porter on the outside. Now the 18 of Jay Anderson wants to come and play on the outside. Churchma trying to work with Dale Smalley on the low line, but nowhere for them to go. They're going to continue to be boxed in on that low side by Ross Cato and company. And don't look now, but Ross Cato and the 04 of Galen Kidman, the 31 of Martin Porter, and the 18 of Jay Anderson, they've got a big run on the outside, and they want to start digging for the front.
Yeah, that Star Motorsports team, like I say, they when they competed, regularly in the series, they were always, a team that could get up there and fight with Dallas and Dale and the guys that, run up front all the time. But one thing I got to say about Storm is they are definitely, brewing up a storm here, because they're first, second, and third. If you look at the tailgate on the Storm Motorsports truck on King Tornadoes, he's from Moore, Oklahoma. There, that's kind of where they got their name from. He's got the Moore tribute there on it.
The 30 machine of Ross Cato starting to fight his way up front, getting the push from the 04 of Galen Kidman. They are challenging for the lead on the outside. The 30 getting the major push. Scored number 30 of Ross Cato, leading his first lap of the night, picking up a bonus point for leading that lap. Galen Kidman immediately on his back bumper. 2 by 2 they go into turns 1 and 2. And Ross Cato, a name we haven't heard for a while here in Cora, he is back up front, and he is now challenging 86 of Eric Sharp for the lead. Star Motorsports had a lock on the lead for several laps. That might have just come to an end.
Here and seeing these guys here, excuse me, had a bird in my throat. Seeing these guys here, Storm Motorsports, it's, they're good. And as a driver, I don't know if I want to go back on the track with them.
Storm Motorsports once again storming for the lead. Eric Sharp scored as your leader that time by the 8 of Churchma and the 20 of Wenk. Down back first, second, third. Here comes the 30 and 04, the 48 of Dallas Miracle joining that outside line. And guys, I've got a feeling that for Storm Motorsports, a storm is brewing. And I don't know if it's a storm they want, because when you get trucks running in that groove just like that, it's a recipe for potential disaster that can mean the end of a race for a number of trucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, Storm Motorsports won't have any tornado sirens, no harsh weather advisories coming from the Weather Channel. But it's going to be interesting here as they get a little bit of a run into one. It seems like they've kind of stalled there around that third place. Ross Cato on the outside in that 30 machine. It doesn't really look like they're going anywhere, but it certainly is a tough spot to be in.
Guys, just handed to me from the National Weather Service here in Daytona Beach. A severe racing advisory is in effect for the top 6 machines. 86, 88, still under fire from the 30, the 04, and the 48. Now, just to give you some perspective on this, none of these guys have taken a a reset on their cars just yet. So even if their cars get trashed, they can come back down pit road, get a brand new truck, and be on their way, which is good news for them. The bad news, however, is if they have to use one of those resets, it might set them back several laps, and they might break the focus that they have right now. It might break their teamwork that they are working on right now. Sharp in front, Churchman pushing him in the 20 of David Wenk on the caboose of that Storm Motorsports trifecta. But here comes on the outside Cato, Gidman, and Miracle. Those guys are not budging an inch.
Sitting there kind of waiting as if they're stalking that leader in the 86 truck of Eric Sharp. It's going, as they get a run here, going into one, they're going to pull up door to door with the 86. Ross Cato on the outside into 30 with help from, I believe it's going to be Galen Gidman.
Galen
through.
The 30, the 04, 48 still running on that outside lane. You saw the 04 get outside of that draft to get a little bit of air in that cold air in that 04 machine on that 04 truck out there. He does not want to make the same mistake that Travis Brown made earlier in the race. Nice of the 48 do it as well. The problem is because they have to go out and break that draft, they're not able to run as competitively, and it makes them slow down just a touch while they wait for that other car or other truck to get back in the groove and get back in drive. That opens the door for Sharp and Churchma up front to continue to hold on to this lead. Storm Motorsports on the low side. High side still not giving away. Now the 35 machine of Nathan Sedlak has joined the outside party. And don't look now, but the 69 of Dale Smalley in that group as well. And now we've got an outside run that could very easily compete. Lots of talent on that outside line.
Lots of talent on the outside line as they go into one. Still Eric Sharp with a little bit of a gap between him and second place Michael Churchma. The 20 of David Wink scoring in the third position. Ross Cato, the first truck in that outside line, scoring fourth. And Gary Bauer in the 07 is going to be your top five as they run now.
Let's throw on board the 88 of Michael Churchman just for a moment to see how close the 88 and 86 are. No room for error between the 88 and the 86 right now, as the 88 Churchman doing everything he can to push the 86 of Eric Sharp in front of him. These guys using teamwork to the best of their abilities, and now you see them starting to break away from the rest of the field using that tandem draft. Now they can take a little bit of a pause to get some cold air in those engines, to get a little bit of needed temperatures down on those machines, to let the rest of the pack catch up to them, and then they can just jump away from the field. Storm Motorsports looking like they cannot be touched right now, but the 30 of Ross Cato will not leave until he gets answered to.
Halfway down in this race, coming off of four, coming to the stripe, they will take lap 52. I guess you could say that's 50% of the nerves that are used up. And I don't know about the white knuckles if they've started yet, but Storm Motorsports up front is certainly giving these guys that run regularly, like Churchman, Gidman, Bauer, Miracle, certainly knocking on that door and saying, hey guys, we're back and we ain't going anywhere.
Guys, this is one. The trucks are going to be featured twice. Oh, as the 04 now gets loose, gets in front of the 35. Big trouble behind him. Big trouble everywhere. The 04 machine bouncing around. 31's involved. 04, the Galen Gidman machine is trashed out there. Big troubles. The 04 and 35 get into each other. Dallas Miracle survives. Dale Smalley survives. But several trucks bent up and damaged on that incident. Yellow flag out for the third time tonight. All starting around that 04 machine of Galen Gidman. Let's watch the replay real quick, guys, as you see it all happen here. The 04 gets into the 35 machine, almost three wide, going into the turn. The 35 looks like he just bumped the 04, not in a position where he could help him, and that turns around the 04 into the wall hard, and then collects a couple other trucks behind him. Galen Gidman will be forced to burn his reset this time around. And guys, we're starting to see it. The heavy racing starting to come to affect these guys' nerves. The race will be halfway over, but I don't think the nerves are halfway burned just yet. All nerves still reacting.
I may have spoke too soon on that one. You're right, Joe. Looking at just seeing that 04 truck spin backwards, and you kind of have to wonder what was going through his head. I mean, he was up there. He was running, I think it was just outside the top 5 and spinning around, and all of a sudden you're not looking at tailgates anymore. You're looking at front bumpers and windshields. That's gotta unsettle your stomach a little bit.
Guys, the last thing you want to look at when you are driving one of these big Chevy Silverados is a yellow bow tie. It means you are facing the wrong way, and when you're facing the wrong way, bad things happen. Lap 53, and your leaders are coming down pit road. Eric Sharp, Michael Churchma, David Wink, Ross Cato, Gary Bauer, Dallas Miracle, Nathan Sedlak, Dale Smalley, Mark Mappin, Mike Vandesal, everybody in your top group now coming to the attention of their crews. Eric Sharp will lead them down. We saw a lot of guys risk it with no tires last time by. A lot of guys will be forced to take tires this time by.
Yeah, I'm riding on board with the 35 here, Nathan Sedlak, and he gets up behind the 04, and it seems to drive like he drives right into the 04, and through him, and that's what got him loose and turned him. So maybe a little bit of an electrical. I know, the 04's been having a little bit of an electrical issue tonight and flashing a little bit. So I think that might be what has ultimately cost his race.
Eric Sharp not electing to take tires this time by. The 07 of 07 also electing not to take tires. The 20 of David Wenck not taking tires. A lot of guys risking it here at Daytona, not taking tires. The rest of your field, at least 2 tires. This strategy has got to come to haunt them at some point, guys. When do we start seeing them start to drop off because of tires?
I said it at the beginning of the broadcast that tires do fall off significantly quicker here than they do at the sister track of Talladega. You got to drive these trucks a little more. It's not just to pedal to the metal and close your eyes and pray. With that no tire call, it looks like Gary Bauer may have gained 3 positions on that. But your leader at the time of the caution, Eric Sharp, first on pit road and first off. It's certainly something you want to save his track position, but here positions can change. I mean, you could go from leading the race to back outside the top 10 in the matter of a lap. I mean, it all depends on what lane you get in and picking that right lane.
Hey Marcus, I heard you talking a little earlier about a quote you were listening to from Denny Hamlin, or you had read about Denny Hamlin saying about the difference between these 2 tracks. You want to expound on that just a little bit?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Denny. Not me, but he was talking to another broadcaster, and he said Daytona is more. It's more like a speedway. It's classified as a super speedway, but it's more of a speedway in the sense that you got to lift into turns. You have to drive the truck, and like I said, you can't just flat foot it, close your eyes, and pray. You got to lift into turns. Before the repave in 2010, Daytona was really bumpy and it was really, really slick. And some of these drivers out here are seeing what it's like to be on that bumpy and slick track. And, with a slick track, you're talking about rubber wear, talking about the tires falling off. Denny, I have my notes here. Denny says, known to say the tires fall off really fast. So you got to find ways to get your car to handle, whether that be track bar adjustments, wedge adjustments, maybe something as small as a half pound here, a half pound there. But Daytona and Talladega, in the words of Denny Hamlin, they're not even close.
definitely two different styles of driving, and while we have time to mention it, this is effectively the first time in the next three races the trucks will be at the forefront of the Cora Sunday Money Racing Series. Next week, it's at Charlotte for the Coles Wilburg Truck Center Charlotte 200, and then at the end of the season, the trucks come back to Talladega for the Barks Competition Karting Talladega 101. The guys, I know that it is a different style of driving here at Daytona than it is at Talladega, but will tonight's race kind of give us a preview of what we're going to see at the end of the Sunday Money Series?
I really do not believe so, just because of what Marcus was saying. These two tracks, they may be considered both super speedways, but Daytona drives more like a speedway where you actually have to manhandle the car. You can't just, hold it flat foot and pray like Marcus was saying. Where Talladega, you can just get on somebody's bumper and hold it wide open and just follow, and play, basically freight train the whole way around. So I don't think this track here is reminiscent of what we're going to see at Dega.
Marcus, your thoughts?
In some aspects, Alan, I think I have to disagree with you. I mean, these guys, they're out here. They really enjoy what they're doing, and there's quite a bit of pocket change on the line. And whether it comes quarter of the way, halfway through, or more towards the end in the last 15, 20 laps, I think we're definitely going to see these guys racing hard, and they're going to be door banging and crushing in tailgates, and it's going to be interesting.
Nathan Sedlak officially penalized for that last incident. He will go to the end of the longest line. Rex Buchanan, your lucky dog that time by. He will go back on the lead lap this time around. Pace car lights are off. It's going to be the 86 of Eric Sharp, still running old tires, running on the lead of this group. Gary Bauer on the outside of him. David Wenck, Michael Churchma, Dallas Miracle, Ross Cato, road number 3. Dale Smalley, Michael Vandesal, road number 4. And Nathan Sedlak and Mark Maffick. Check that. It'll be Mark Maffick and Jay Anderson running in row number 5. Eric Sharp still running old tires. It's a bumpy track that the tires wear off on real quick, but so far finding a way to make it through with a little help from his friend Storm Motorsports, restarting first, third, and fourth on this field here at Daytona. Can they continue to twist and turn around this very difficult track to tame? Only we will find out in the next half race or so. 101 laps scheduled for tonight's feature, currently scoring 56, 57 when we hit the stripe. Pace car will come in into pit road, this time by
trouble right on the start. A truck gets turned around. I don't know exactly who it was. Caution flag is now waving. Wow, I did not expect that restart to go that way.
Looks like it starts around the 67 machine of Ben Manning. Check up around the 3, the 24, and the 79 and the 71 of Joel Wood. And that's going to 79 of Joel Wood, and that's going to cause some major incidents on the front straightaway. A lot of drivers not exactly anticipating the restart as we thought they would. And the number 3 will check everybody up and cause several drivers to get damage as a result of that, including the 79 of Joel Wood, the 24 of Ryan Borges, the 35 of Nathan Sedlak, and down in the grass, the 67 of Ben Manning.
Tough break for them drivers. I've seen it happen. I've been on the track when it happened. You get that one guy sleeping at the wheel, or that one guy who doesn't anticipate the start the way that he should, and it accordions. You get one truck into another, and unfortunately you get some good trucks that are really running good, have their trucks handling good, that get taken out.
Pace car back on the field as they figure out that restart. Let's go ahead and step away from the microphones for just a moment. You are watching the Championship Online Racing Association Daytona 250 live on LSR TV. Stay tuned, race fans. We'll be back after this.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 in the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Championship Online Racing Association Daytona 250, part of the Sunday Money Series. The last race before the chase, the three-race chase for the championship. Gary Bauer up front, Michael Sharp, Eric Sharp, Michael Churchman, David Wenk, and Ross Cato, your top 5. Michael Vandersall, Jay Anderson, Travis Brown, Dallas Miracle, and Everett Lane rounding out your top 10. And guys, I think tonight is really going to be a preview of what we're going to see for the next 3 races. We've got trucks at Charlotte, Indy cars at Richmond, and then trucks again at Talladega. We debated the trucks being tonight's race being an important factor for our season finale, but I'd like to talk really quickly about the trucks being a factor for the rest of the chase. Guys, do you feel like tonight's race is going to have a lot of premonition for what we're going to see for the rest of the season? Let's start with you, Marcus.
You know, seat time in these trucks is everything. The seat time in any race vehicle is everything. I really think that, you know, these guys are running these trucks, and a lot of drivers like them, myself included. I mean, when we're on the track, it's like one big happy family. But as far as looking into the chase with them, it's certainly given them a good feel for what might happen. And hopefully these guys can take the incidents that's happening in this race and put it behind them, because going into the chase, you want to have your board clear, and you want to make sure that, you know, all your grudges with other drivers, all your paybacks are all taken care of, and you know, and hopes that you can make it through the chase and have a good chase.
Alan, your thoughts?
Well, I think it's anybody's, you know, I don't know if you can relate one track to another as far as, you know, accidents happen on the track. You know, you gotta be able to race, you gotta be able to stay out of trouble. So yeah, the seat time helps, but you know, the driver, you know, things happen, and being able to stay out of trouble is going to be a key factor too.
Be sure to join us in 1 week's time when we go racing from Charlotte for the Coles Wheelberg Truck Center Charlotte 200. And that will be a truck race at 8 p.m. starting time on Sunday, December 1st. Then join us for the second chase race in the Chase Series, the Berkey Painting and Sandblasting Richmond Indy 150, live from Richmond International Raceway on December 8th, and the season finale here for the Sunday Money Series, December 15th. 101 miles around the very long Talladega track for the Barks Competition Karting Talladega 101 to end the 2013 campaign here for the Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series. To find out more, visit Cora-Racing.com, Cora-Racing.com. The Championship Online Racing Association, proud to be have the races broadcast live here on LSR TV. Gary Bauer, Eric Sharp, Michael Churchwood, David Wenk, Ross Cato, your top 5. Michael Whitlock will get the wave around from the base car, around the base car. He will pick up 1 lap back as part of the Lucky Dog. John Pansula, Daryl Cronkright, your only retirees of tonight's race. 30 drivers took the call to action. Only 28 will remain when we go back. Green flag racing on lap 63 of 100. Guys, still plenty of opportunity for things to go wrong here at Daytona. We've already seen something crazy happen among that front group. Talent aside, could it happen again?
It's a very good possibility. I mean, coming down here, you're looking at about 40 to go. I don't give it too much longer before I think there's going to be some drivers seeing what that outside line can really do. Getting 5, 6, 7 trucks up there and using that side draft like I was talking about earlier. And it could get real interesting here real quick.
But Alan, the big question that I have for you then is on old tires, on used tires, can they make a run on the high line? Remember, your top 3 did not stop for tires that time by. Can they realistically make a big run on the outside line?
I don't know. That's going to be a tough call. You know, I probably would have stopped and got some tires. You know, because tires here, especially at Daytona, at Talladega, not so much. Like you know, the tires wear here more than they do at Dega. But I guess time will tell.
Pace car lights are off. One more lap to go. Forward back to green flag racing. Gary Bauer, Eric Sharp on the front row. Michael Churchma, David Wenk. And David Wenk looks like he's got some back end damage on that number 20 machine. That might hurt him. It might not. Time will tell for the Storm Motorsports driver in position number 4. Ross Cato, Mike Vandesall behind them. Jay Anderson, Travis Brown, row number 4. Everett Lane and Galen Gidman rounding out your top 10. Garrett Atwell will be given the penalty for that last incident. He will start at the end of the longest line. So right now, all eyes on Gary Bauer and Eric Sharp as they get ready to go green flag racing in just one turn's time.
Hopefully these guys can keep this restart a little cleaner than we've seen the last one. I was certainly shocked by it. Let's not forget about these transfer spots that these guys will be looking at here coming up very shortly as the laps wind down. You're looking at TJ Graves, Mr. Excitement himself in the 22, riding 10th right now with Colton Berkey in the 81 to his outside. And David Parks in the 9 and Garrett Atwell behind them. Those 4 drivers sitting right outside the top 10. Something happens and they could be there.
All it takes is one incident, one misstep, and you could go from hero to zero here at Daytona International Speedway. Pace car will make the hard left turn down pit road right this moment. And now it's time to go back. Green flag racing on lap 63. Gary Bauer in control of this field. 30 trucks remain here at Daytona. Green flag flies. We are less than 40 to go at this juncture. Gary Bauer gets the big jump immediately behind him. The 88 of Michael Churchma. And here comes Eric Sharp on the outside, working with that damaged number 20 machine. Can the 20 machine keep in line? He cannot. He's got to figure out what he's got to do. That 20 machine can't keep pace with the damage on the rear fender of the 20.
Got a slow truck on the apron. That's going to be the 23 machine. The 23 of Rex Buchanan. No. Yes. Slow there. The 43, I'm sorry. They're on that apron on the restart.
Trouble on the track. The 04 of Michael Whitlock in trouble. The 48 of Dallas Miracle in that back group. Dale Smalley also in trouble, but the 04 really starts it all out there on that group. He was in the dirt getting the push from the 67 machine. Michael Whitlock in the dirt. I don't know if the yellow flag has flown yet, but the 64 machine, heavy, even more damage than he already had out there on the field.
That's going to break the field up a little bit. There looks like you got 7 trucks that's going to be in the lead pack, and then you're looking back to about 2 tenths, 3 tenths is going to be your next pack. That next pack is going to be headed, let me get my info straight. That lead pack's going to be headed by the 31 of Martin Porter. He's going to be scored now in the 9th position. Big crash.
Big trouble on the track. Now 06 around, the 24 Ryan Borges around, the 00 of James Brown around as well. Big trouble in front of them. More trouble involving, it looks like the 71 machine, the 3 machine as well, all getting in trouble out there. Garrett Atwell, Mark Maffett, all involved out there on an incident. 6 trucks involved. Caution will come out this time by, all starting with that 04 machine, that 4 machine, and the 06 machine of Daniel Miller.
That happened right there in a significantly large pack. This is that racing we've been talking about. If it happens, it's gonna happen when you're tight door-to-door racing like that.
It looks like it really all started around the 06 machine when it was forced to check up. The 3, not aware of what was happening, plows into the back of the 06 on the front straightaway, or that front tri-oval, I should say, and that's going to cause major problems for a lot of competitors out there on the field, including the 06 machine, including the 04 machine of Galen Gidman, the 3 machine involved in that as well. The 24 machine who is already running a damaged truck, he's going to have some more damage as well out there. The 3 machine of James Wilkins, not only did he cause the incident, but he's going to have some front end and rear end damage as a result of that. Mark McFadden in the 90 machine, he's a regular here in the Sunday Money Series. McFadden having some trouble out there as well as a result of that incident. So guys, there's a saying that I'm very fond of: when it rains, it pours. And don't judge me if I got that off a can of Morton Salt. It's true. Yellows set yellows. And right now, I'd get the umbrellas out because it's about to start raining in big time.
Cautions do breed cautions. And you're going to have that. These drivers know that this is their last chance. For those drivers that are sitting on the bubble in the championship, this is their last chance to make an impact and hopefully make it to the chase. With you're looking at about 35 laps to go. This is when that white knuckle driving is going to start to come into play, and this is when these guys are going to start taking chances that you wouldn't normally see at the beginning of a race.
Mr. Setup Analyzer himself is the first man on the bubble. He is currently sitting in the 13th position. Travis Brown in second. There is about a plus or minus a 28-point deficit between them. Mark Montanari not in the race tonight. Garrett Denton not in the race tonight. So then it goes back to Michael Vandesal, currently being scored 15th, 409 points for him on his campaign this evening. Vandesal effectively, even in the best circumstance, would not be able to make up that group. So your top 12 in points locked in for the chase for the cup here in the Sunday Money Series. It's got to be a good feeling if you're in that top group. But that being said, you can't get too comfortable, because in that top 12, the points will be reset by the end of tonight.
Yeah, that's right. They will be reset. So, like I said a little while ago, it's anybody's game after the chase starts. So, staying in the top 12, I think pretty much everybody in the top 12 tonight, like you said, is pretty much locked in. So we're okay there. But you want to be up as close to the front as you can, to have as many points, because you're going to have a 3-point deficit, all the way from first to 12th. 3 times 12, that's 20 some points. So we're you don't want to start 20 points. 3 times 12 is 36 points. You don't want to start 36 points back off the lead.
According to my calculations, Dale Smalley has a lock on the number 1 seed going into the chase. Michael Churchman has a lock on the 2nd position. The next big battle is between Dallas Miracle and Gary Bauer for that 3rd seed going into this race. Then from there on out, it is still anybody's race. Galen Gidman and Ben Manning can still do battle. Nathan Sedlak and Everett Lane are both tied for that 8th seed right now. So whoever finishes in front of the other will have have that 8th seed, potentially the 7th seed. Michael Johnson currently sitting 7th on the field, and I don't believe he is in the server tonight, so Michael Johnson will lose position, but the question is who will take over his seed on the field and potentially lock in a top 6 seed.
Couple drivers here locking positions in, making sure that they are good to go come chase time with the 3-point deficits that Alan was just talking about. You know, you certainly want to make sure that you're not too far back, and ideally you want to be the leader, which is going to be Dale Smalley. But as far as striking distance goes, you really can't be that far down from the top of the charts and expect to come out on top.
It makes it a whole lot more difficult to try to fight your way back from the back end of this chase than to start from the middle of the pack or even the top of the pack. But then again, Dale Smalley is also being your defending champion, and a lot of guys want to dethrone him. The question is, who out there has something to challenge him with? Who out there can fight him for that position?
Well, it's really gonna be a driver that's close up there going into the chase. I see, you know, a 3rd or 4th place driver. I think Churchma was maybe sitting 2nd. I think he's got a really good shot at it. He's a great, talented driver. I raced with him. I've been on the track with him plenty of times, and a great guy.
Going by tail of the tape alone as pace car lights go off, this time by Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley both have 2 wins on this season, and they are both sitting in excellent position in the chase. Travis Brown has 1 win, but that was in the Border Wars, not a points race out there in the Cora series. So though he has a win, it doesn't count for a whole lot. Also currently sitting in a chase position with a win, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Gary Bauer also has a win out there, and he's sitting 4th in points. So a lot of guys with wins, but as we've proven here in this Cora Sunday Money Series, it's not about wins, it's about consistency. It's about where you start and where you finish on the field.
Consistency seems to be the key here lately. Every week, you know, with the way that Cora's been running, every week has been different car, different track, and things kind of settle down going into season 4. It's more, I don't know what you call it, but it's not so much bouncing around. So it's going to be interesting to see how some of these drivers will adapt to a more concrete schedule and versus the schedule that we had this season, where you had a whole bunch of different tracks with a whole bunch of different car combinations.
Pace car lights are off. They are double file going through turns 3 and 4. Gary Bauer, Michael Churchma will start on the front row. Eric Sharp, Jimmy Anderson behind him. Everett Lane, Michael Vandesall, row number 3. TJ Graves, Martin Porter 4th. Colton Berkey, Nathan Sedlak round out row number 5. Most importantly, Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, both starting outside of the top 10 for the first time tonight. Lap 70 when they cross the line. Gary Bauer gets the jump on the restart, and we are back to Green Flag Racing. Bauer up front, Churchman behind him. Eric Sharp now trying to figure out where he's going to go. He's going to continue to stay low down there on the field. The 88 of Churchma trying to hold on. Here comes the 88 of Jay Anderson giving him the hard push out there. The 83 of Michael Vandesall also in that group. It is 2 by 2 by 2, a 6-pack in the super stretch.
The 1 of Everett Lane down on the inside being that 3rd truck, now 4th truck, as the 07 of Gary Bauer is going to drop in front, or not the 07. That's going to be the 88 of Churchma dropping to the inside there. They going 1 by 1 back through the 4th spot where they start 2 by 2, trying to get that outside lane working again.
The 86 machine looked like he has problems out there. Eric Sharp trying to figure out where he's going to go, weaving up and down. He's going to stay on the low line. Behind him, the number 1 of Everett Lane. Everett Lane makes contact with the 83 machine. No incident on the field. They continue to run. 2 double files down through turns 1 and 2 into the super stretch. Churchma in the lead in the 88 machine, but here comes the 18 of Jay Anderson. He's got to run with the 83 of Michael Van de Sal behind him. The 31 machine also trying to get up there as well. That's Martin Porter. The 35 of Nathan Sedlak also in the mix right now. Miracle Smalley continuing to run in the middle of the group, and then there's the third horseman of the Storm Motorsports team, David Wink in the 20 machine. He's currently stuck behind the 30 machine of Mark McFadden, and with damage on both those trucks, it may make it hard for the 20 to get back up front and help his teammates out.
Damage, we've said it before, affects aerodynamics, and aerodynamics is everything. But it looks there like that 86 machine of Eric Sharp and the 83 of Van Osdal there seem to trucks unsettling in dirty air maybe. It seems, I don't know what to call it. As a driver, I'd be able to express. As Van Osdal now gets loose off the bumper of his drafting partner and goes back down, pushes Everett Lane underneath that yellow. Everett's going to come back up and secure that spot, or hold that spot rather.
Van Nostal will go back into line. Jay Anderson, who had the air taken off of him by Van Nostal a moment ago, will also fall back in the low line. Now he's going to go back up the high line. Which line will he choose? Meanwhile, back behind him, the the 48 and the 69 are back. They're making a run back up front, trying the two truck tango to try to get up front and make some moves on this field. Time is running out on this field. Currently scoring lap 73. Less than 30 laps to go at this juncture. Our eyes are on the 88 of Michael Churchma. He continues to run, but now the 18 of Jay Anderson with the help of the 48 of Dallas Miracle and the 69 of Dale Smalley. They are running hard to try to get that lead. They have now caught up to him. It's a drag race through the turns. 18 high, 88 low. Into the super stretch they go.
Certainly a good battle here for the lead. That outside line with that two truck tango is going to look like it is prevailing, at least this time by. Like I said, as the battle now comes in from the bottom line again, I've said it earlier, you can lose spots as quick as you gain them here on a super speedway like Daytona, but it just matters who you're with and what lane you have.
18 continues to run high, the 88 low, and the 88 does have the run on the front straight, on the front tri-oval. The 88 of Michael Churchma will continue to lead. The 07 of Gary Bauer giving the 88 the push he needs to continue to run. The 86, the 1, the 31. That's the 31 machine belonging to you know what? 31 machine. I lost him for just a moment there. Martin Porter in the 31 machine will run in the 9th place position. Dale Smalley in the 69 machine currently scored right around 10, and he's got some help there behind him from the 4 of Garrett Atwell and the 35 machine of Nathan Sedlak. But those trucks aren't doing him a whole lot of justice. They're not getting him up front the way the 48 of Dallas Miracle did. Now Miracle doesn't have any drafting partners. He's going to be forced to drop back to the 69 of Dale Smalley before he can make his run again.
They can be picked up as easy as they can be lost, talking spots. Right now, your 18 truck, piloted by Jay Anderson, is going to be your leader. He was pushed up there on the outside with help from that 48 machine of Dallas Miracle. Those two guys, I've raced with them, and they're good. Now looks like outside line gonna be back. The battle's gonna be for about the 5th position.
24 laps to go left at this juncture. Jay Anderson finds a way to pick up the lead. He will lead on lap 77. Michael Churchma immediately behind him. The 07 machine of Gary Bauer running 3rd. And now the two truck tango, the 48 and 69, continuing to run in behind them, trying to make a move. We've seen them use the 2 truck tango to their advantage, and the 69 and the 48 make their moves and get back up front.
It's going to be interesting to see that outside lane. That outside lane with Dale Smalley pushing Dallas Miracle. We've seen Dale Smalley push like this before on that outside and make it work. Two more trucks are going to jump out of line. That's going to be 2 spots behind them. It looks like maybe Sedlak and Porter, or Everett Lane and Sedlak.
Now behind them, Michael Van Nostal is going to be forced to drop to the end of that lead group. He is currently being scored in 14th. David Wenko had a strong truck all night, being scored in 15th. And you got to wonder what's going on with the 20 machine, aside from the damage they had on the rear end of that machine. What happened to force them to drop back so far? And can he rejoin the Storm Motorsports team in front to give them a hand? Meanwhile, back up front, the 48 now making a move. He's got a little help from his friends. The 48 unofficially leading at the stripe. The 48 picks up the lead. Dallas Miracle now back in control of this race. Dale Smalley immediately on his tail with Everett Lane giving him the push.
Everett Lane's going to pull up to that rear bumper of Dale Smalley in the 69 machine. It kind of looked like as soon as Dallas Miracle was clear of that 18 truck, or of that 07 truck, that he kind of left his drafting partner up there. Maybe he knew that Everett was back there and would pick him up, but it certainly, I don't like it done to me.
Currently scoring lap 80, 21 laps left, or 22 laps left to go at this juncture. Turn up those speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's race brought to you with limited commercial interruption from JDR Graphics. Find them online at jdrgraphics.com. Let's crank it up. Lap 83, Jay Anderson still in control of this race. Dallas Miracle and Dale Smalley fighting tooth and nail as hard as they can. The number 1 of Everett Lane and the 31 of Mark Porter still on that outside line. The 07 of Gary Bauer and the 86 of Eric Sharp not letting enough alone. 4x4, the 8-pack continues to run hard around this track here at Daytona International Speedway. Less than 20 to go at this juncture, and I've got a feeling we're not done seeing caution flags yet.
I certainly don't think so. The 8-truck pack at the lead there has pulled away by just about a second over the second pack there. The second pack looks to be led by David Wink in the 20, around the 11th position there. Once again, one of them Storm Motorsports drivers. But yeah, cautions. It's hard to tell, but I don't see us seeing the last of them for sure.
11 tracks now in contention for the lead. 11 tracks part of that lead group. Right now, the last one, David Wenk, that Storm Motorsports driver we talked about so much earlier in the race when they had that trifecta lock on the lead. Now at the very tail end of it, he is currently scored 11th. Colton Berkey now in the top 10 as well. Nathan Sedlak finds his way in the top 10 as Jay Anderson finds a gust of wind on his tail. He is going to make a big move forward, and he will lead the lap number 84. Now being scored lap 85. Jay Anderson, Michael Churchma getting a huge jump on this field. Gary Bauer, Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, trucks just scattered among those two lines, still working as hard as they can to make moves either side. 5 by 5, now 5 trucks on the outside, led by the 07 of Gary Bauer. Bauer going to try to make the lead this time around. He's got the momentum to do it. Will Jay Anderson let him? That's the question.
The question I think we're going to see be answered very shortly as the 07 of Gary Bauer gets a good push and a good run off of 4. I think he had that lap coming by. They're still working the high side into 1 here as the 18 of Jay Anderson is going to fight back on the bottom. That looks like that second truck in line there is going to be the 36, 86 of Eric Sharp. Got a little wiggly. Funny use of a word there, but got a little loose. That's going to allow that top side to prevail with Gary Bauer having to push from Jay Anderson and Everett Lane now moving into the 3rd position.
Dallas Miracle makes the big move with the push from Dale Smalley and Everett Lane. They drop down to the low line. Dallas Miracle, your new leader on lap 87. Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, your top 3. Gary Bauer drops underneath the double yellows and try to make something happen. Goes back in line. Jay Anderson, who was your leader, now shoveled back to the 5th place position. Michael Churchma in 6th. His teammate Eric Sharp in 7th. It's going to be Nathan Sedlak in 9th. Colton Berkey moving the 81 up to the 8th place position, it looks like. And the 31 machine of Martin Porter in that mix as well. The 20 machine of Nathan Sedlak, or check out the number 20 machine of David Wenk, now getting the push from the 35 of Nathan Sedlak. And Sedlak not going to be settling for that lower position. He wants to get back up front, but the question is, who can answer to him? Can anybody answer to that dominant 2-car truck tandem of Miracle and Smalley?
Laps are ticking down here, working lap 88. It's going to be 89 next time by, about 13 to go. Behind these trucks here, this lead pack of 11 or 12 trucks, there's noise being made behind them. The 4 trucks sitting back there in around the 13th, 14th place has really done a great job catching this lead pack, and this lead pack's going to have company.
Lead pack will have company in a big way. Ross Cato now joining the party in the 13th position. Daniel Miller joining the party after having some trouble out there on the field. Also joining the party, Galen Gidman back in the mix. We talked about him earlier, the 30 machine as well. That's Ross Cato, the 33, also in that group. Travis Brown. All these guys want to party with time ticking down here on the field. Meanwhile, back up front, Dallas Miracle continues his dominant lead. Dale Smalley, but I've got a feeling things might shift. Here comes the 20 and the 35. That is David Wenk and Nathan Sedlak. They're trying to make some moves, get back with the Storm Motorsports group, and see if they can figure out what they can do with time running out when we cross the line. It'll be 12 to go.
12 to go. Looks like a truck checking to the outside there. That's going to be the 07 of Gary Bauer moving up to that high line. He's going to be setting just off the nose of the 88 of Michael Churchma. Looks like it's going to be the 18 of Jay Anderson. He's setting off the nose of, trying to get that outside line to work as the leaders come by a lap vehicle.
Leaders now competing with lap traffic. The traffic is going to be the number 64 machine. That was the ball. Oh, 64 now in the wall hard. He made contact with, I believe, the 1881, still squirrely out there on the field. That could change the complexion of the race for several drivers. None of your lead drivers involved in that one. No major incident. We continue green flag racing on lap 91. 11 to go. This time by Miracle Smalley continuing to lead. And now here comes the Storm Motorsports drivers. The 88 of Churchma, the 86 of Sharp. With time running out, they know they need to start making some moves in a hurry. If they want to, they're going to start running tandem on the outside lane.
Well, it would really be something to see this outside lane prevail for a race win. I'm not going to call who wins it because here it's like a lottery. You don't know who's going to win it with cautions breeding cautions. And like you said, Joe, when it rains, it pours. I don't know if we've seen the last of them. I'd like to say we have, but it's certainly going to be interesting here as these drivers tend to go across the stripe.
Newsflash just being handed me from the CNN newsroom. This race too close to project a winner. Still too many variables to be counted out here. 10 to go at this point. Miracle Smalley still up front, but here comes Churchma and the 86 of Eric Sharp. They are challenging hard on the outside, and we have seen two trucks able to climb through the field despite the draft underneath them. They continue to go side by side now. Smalley on the low side, the 88 of Churchma on the high side. They seem like they're running out of just enough steam on the turns, but that could all change as the 07 of Gary Bauer joins them on the high line. Now here comes the cavalry, the 33 of Travis Brown joining them. The 18 of Derek Anderson joined them temporarily. They're going to go back down low into turns 1 to 2, 9 to go.
9 to go. It's going to be interesting to see just how this whole thing pans out. You're looking at on the outside lane, that first truck being the 88 of Michael Churchma. He is working with the 86 of Eric Sharp, his teammate, just to the outside of Everett Lane. That third truck in line down on the bottom. Certainly going to be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Miracle Smalley still first and second. Battle is for third as is one of Everett Lane under fire from the 88 of Churchma. Smalley giving, check out the 86 of Eric Sharp giving the 88 of Churchma. Map big push. Martin Porter in the 31 machine blinking out just momentarily. He's back in the group. The 07 of Gary Bauer giving that high line a push. And now here comes the 20 of David Wenk. He's going to start moving on that outside lane, but can he catch up to his teammates? The 7 gives the 33 a push down the outside, down from the outside line. The 33 of Travis Brown able to recuperate, but he is going to lose a lot of speed out there on the track. Open the door for the 20 and the 35. It's Wenk and Nathan Sedlak. Both those drivers know what's on the line. They get ready to cross the line as they pass more lap traffic out there. That is going to be the 22 of Mr. Excitement himself, TJ Graves, and I believe the 51 machine out there on the high side touching the wall repeatedly. That is going to be the 51, the 24 of Ben Manning. Still 6 laps to go at this, 7 laps to go at this juncture. Miracle still in control.
I had to hold my breath there for a minute as they passed that lap traffic. Last time we've seen the 18 of Jay Anderson kind of get bounced around as they dealt with it. Another lap truck here that they are working on as they go through 3 and 4. Your race leader, Dallas Miracle, gets by. Everett Lane gets by, puts the battle for 4th 3 wide as they come off of 4 with that lap vehicle to the outside.
Miracle still up front. Smalley right behind him. Everett Lane scored 3rd. Michael Churchma, Eric Sharp on the outside line. The 07 of Gary Bauer joining them. And now the 20, the Storm Motorsports driver, David Wenk, joining his teammates in solidarity. Problem is they are not getting the run they want. They are losing time on that outside line. Miracle, Smalley, Everett Lane still up front. 6 laps to go at this juncture. 5 when they cross the line. Miracle is showing no indication of losing the lead. Smalley has no indication of losing second, though you know with him first in points, he wants to pick up his 3rd win, 2nd points win of this series tonight.
Hard charger Dale Smalley is exactly what he is going to be looking to do. protecting that inside line is going to be critical for Dallas Miracle in that 48 machine, knowing very well that the two-time champion Dale Smalley is behind him. And another guy that puts on a lot of heat every week, Everett Lane, setting in third. If something would happen to them leaders coming to the checkered flag, Everett Lane is in a really good spot to pick up this race win.
Everett Lane in a great position as we're at 5 to go. Once they cross the line, 4 to go. After they cross the line, if a yellow flag comes out, the race will be over, as we'll finish under a yellow flag here at Daytona International Speedway. No green-white checkered finish, as you hear the preacher talk about every week here in the Sunday Money Series, and that's something that Dallas Miracle might be praying for right now. Let there something happen to me so I can lock in this win and start my chase off right. Miracle continuing to lead. Now here comes Churchwright in the 88. Churchwright just does not seem to have the horsepower behind him. His Storm Motorsports teammate Eric Sharp pushing him. They've got to run all the stretches, but in the turns, it's not where they want to be. They're going to continue to run. 3 to go when they cross the line.
Michael Churchma trying to make it work with Eric Sharp, his teammate, losing ground through them corners. As you said, Joe, they have the straightaway drafting and aerodynamics to help them pull up next to that one truck on the inside, but in the turns, I don't know if they can keep it pressed against the door of that one for that side draft that I was talking about earlier.
Dallas Miracle, Smalley, Everett Lane, they are getting a huge jump on this field, digging as hard as they can. 3 to go at this juncture, 2.5 as they hit the super stretch. Now Dallas Miracle showing a little weakness high. Dale Smalley thought about going low, using the apron almost if he had to. Thought better of it as it would incur a penalty. Now it's going to be Miracle, Smalley, Everett Lane continuing to run on the low line. The 88 of Michael Churchman digging as hard as he can. He just seems to have run out of horses, run out of tires out there. He can challenge for third, but he may not be able to challenge for the win. 2 to go. Popsicle sticks fly. Miracle, Smalley, Everett Lane remain your top 3.
Dallas Miracle doing a lot of mirror driving right now to protect that inside line down there, riding that yellow, putting them left side tires right where they belong. Now Dale Smalley, I don't know if he's poking out or if he's saying, hey buddy, I'm here, working lap 100. It's going to be the white flag in the air next time by. The fans are standing up 167,000 strong. They are looking for, oh, there's a wreck in 3 and 4. Big wreck. I see 3 trucks around.
Race is over. Colton Berkey in the infield. Ross Cato involved as well. Yellow flag will fly. Race is over. Dallas Miracle gets the win. Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, your top 3. That was the yellow flag that he needed out there. Gary Bauer looks like he might have caught a piece of that as well. Big trouble will bring out the yellow flag and end this race for Dallas Miracle. That will be Dallas Miracle's 3rd points win here in the Cora Sunday Money Series. And with that, Miracle walks away with another $50 finish.
Wow, what a finish. I was just saying there, 167,000 on their feet, and they certainly got to see what why these guys are out here every week. It's really entertaining. Congratulations to Dallas Miracle. We should be talking to him shortly, as well as your 2nd place finisher Dale Smalley and Everett Lane bringing in 3rd.
The 81 and 07, you're watching the replay now live, and it looks like the 81 makes contact in some way, shape, or form with the 07. The 20 also gets a piece of that as well. That's David Wank, and that will bring out the final caution flag of the night to finish the race here at Daytona International Speedway. Dallas Miracle, 3rd in points. He starts his chase off right, as he will win tonight's race. They officially crossed the line this time by. Dallas Miracle, your winner here at Daytona International Speedway, walks away with a big $50 payday. Dale Smalley, your points leader, finishes solid 2nd. Everett Lane 3rd. Michael Churchman 4th. Travis Brown rounds out your top 5. Guys, we hear the preacher every week pray that iRacing will instill a green, white, yellow finish in the iRacing sim. But in this case, I think Dallas Miracle prayed for the absolute opposite. let their yellow flag come out so I can finish the race.
Certainly, it was exactly what Dallas Miracle was hoping for. Joe, I'll be honest with you, my knuckles were white up here, and it was, it was interesting. It's exactly what these guys come out here to do: put on a show for the fans, put on a show for the fans at home, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, we had green flag runs. We've had a couple cautions, but I mean, you're gonna have that. I mean, these guys are out here 2-3 wide, and sometimes things happen, and you just can't avoid them.
Now, of course, I have to mention that all of these standings are unofficial going into the chase. The officials obviously have to look at a whole lot and have to take a look at this, review tonight's race before we can name an official finisher in the race. So Dallas Miracle unofficially your winner. Dale Smalley second. Everett Lane finishes out the top 3. But Alan, what an incredible finish to tonight's race. You could not ask for a better way to start the chase here in the Cora Sunday Money Series.
Yeah, it was quite an entertaining race, that's for sure. And I knew Dallas. I said it in the middle of the broadcast, and I told you to keep an eye on that the 69 and that 48. Man, them two get together, and like I said, I can't say that they're completely unbeatable, but man, they're strong.
Dallas Miracle officially your winner. They are going to stop here at the start-finish line for the 3-second pose. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, your top 3 finishers here at Daytona International Speedway for the Cora Daytona 250. When we come back, we'll talk to your top 3 finishers and take a look at how they're going to stack up going into the chase in 1 week's time. Dallas Miracle, your winner. We'll talk to him when we return. You're watching the Cora Sunday Money Series live on LSR TV. "101 laps complete here at Daytona International Speedway. Dallas Miracle completing the 250-lap charge to pick up his 3rd points win of the series in the Cora Sunday Money Championship Series. Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, Michael Churchma, Travis Brown round out your top 5. Eric Sharp, Jay Anderson, Nathan Sedlak, Galen Kidman, and Ross Cato, your top 10. Daniel Miller, Gary Bauer, David Weck, Colton Berkey, Michael Van Nostal, your top 15. Mark McFadden, Mark Maffett, David Parks, James Wilkins, Ryan Borges round out your top 20. And that will be 20 versus Martin Porter. He's the last truck to finish under his own power on the lead lap. TJ Graves, Mr. Excitement, finishing 22nd. Ben Manning, Michael Whitlock, Carol Atwell, all finishing in the top 25. James Brown, Joel Wood, Rex Buchanan, John Pansula, and Daryl Cronkright all having to pull off out and behind the garage before the race was over tonight here at Daytona International Speedway. But right now, it's all about the driver of the 48 truck, Dallas Miracle, coming out to the Gatorade shower. Dallas Miracle, your winner here at Daytona International Speedway. And Dallas, this was the finish could not have played any better for you than it did tonight.
Yeah, the caution happened to come out at the end there. That gave me an easy win, but Dale did a really good job pushing me throughout the race and getting me to the front.
Tonight, you really seemed like you were on a mission, not just to finish in the top three, not just to have a strong finish, but to finish at the top of the poll tonight. You and Dale Smalley worked perfectly in tandem together, Dallas. What was that like, and was that your intention tonight to come out and win under all circumstances?
Yeah, I was definitely looking for the win tonight, either me or Dale, and I got a head of steam going after the instant and the restart when I got into the leaders, and after that we made a big push to the front.
Now in each of the pit stops, we saw you take tires. A lot of guys didn't. Did tires give you the advantage that you needed to finish in such a good spot tonight?
I wouldn't say it gave a huge advantage, but it definitely helped working that high line. Give you a little bit extra push.
Working that high line seemed to be the place where all the business got done. Did you set up your truck tonight with the high line in mind?
Yeah, I was definitely looking for the high line to make those passes, and you got into trouble when the guy pushing you was getting hot. You kind of had to work the high line and keep it cool and able to get around those leaders.
So after tonight's race, you walk away with a $50 payout, but more importantly, you solidify your place in the chase right now, unofficially sitting third, going into the first chase race of the season. What's it going to take for you to get back to the top of the scoring pool and win the $150 prize at the end of the season?
I think the chase is really going to come down to the Indy cars at Richmond. I'm going to have to be working real hard on a setup there and lots of practice into that one, because I think that's going to be the race that it comes down to. It's getting a decent finish.
Dallas Miracle, winner of the race here tonight in the Cora Daytona 250. The trucks running tonight here at Daytona. And Dallas, real quick, you got trucks in two of the last races for the chase. How do you feel about your chances after this big win tonight?
I feel like I got a decent chance as long as I finish up front and avoid incidents and getting in wrecks and stuff. I think I got a fairly good chance.
Dallas Miracle, your winner here at Daytona. Before I let you go, any shout-outs you'd like to give, anything you'd like to offer, microphone's all yours.
I'd like to thank my teammate Dale Smalley, and I'd like to thank the guys at NPR Racing for setup and helping during the race.
Dallas Miracle, your winner here. He will start the chase third in points, looking to walk away with the championship at $150 at the end of the season. But tonight, $50 ain't a mad way to start. Dallas, congratulations. We'll see you in the chase, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Let's go ahead and go to Alan Larson, who's caught up with a man who will be at the top of the pinnacle when we go to the chase. Dale Smalley.
Yeah, I'm walking down around here on pit lane, and I caught up with our second place finisher there, Dale Smalley, our self-proclaimed redneck and points leader. Hey, what a job tonight, Dale. Good job.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Alan. Appreciate it.
So, what were you thinking there with about 8 or 10 to go? Did you think you guys were going to be able to hold off the run that Churchman, the Storm Motorsports team, had on the outside?
Yeah, I was pretty sure we could, as long as kept the motor cool. That's the big thing. Just keep the motor cool and push it when you got to. Dallas is fast up front, so it's kind of easy just following along behind him.
Yeah, I said it during the broadcast that, you guys tend to hook up together and basically put on a clinic for everybody at the super speedway races. How do you look going into the chase? What are you thinking about them Indy cars at Richmond and, finaling out at Talladega?
Yeah, like Dallas said, that's going to be the wild card, I think, is Indy cars at Richmond. They're fast. They're real fast, and you better be on top of that steering wheel the whole time.
Absolutely. Okay, who makes it happen for you there, Dale?
My teammate Dallas. NPR helps us out with some setups. Gary Bauer helped us out with a Q set for tonight. I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to thank you and James and all the guys up there at Cora for putting it on and putting up with us. Y'all do a good job. I appreciate it.
Okay, there.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I'm
I'm confused here. We seem to be missing Everett there, but I think Marcus Babb there, he's caught up with our third place finisher, Everett.
Everett Lane in that one machine, finishing third. A little bit of a Danica Patrick green on the truck this week. I don't know if I like that or I don't. But sitting third there, if that yellow had not come out, what was your plan to get to the front?
My plan was to go with the 31 Martin Porter to try to go to the front, but he was going to run out of gas. He told me he didn't have enough, so my plan was to stay right on the back of Dale's bumper to the end and hope the outside line didn't get a run on me so I could finish in the top three.
Yeah, that outside line was certainly looking good there at the end of the race. A couple cautions that I don't think you were a part of at all. It all seemed to happen behind you. But did you see us finishing under green, or was it kind of projected that, by the way the race went, that it would be under yellow?
I was hoping it was going to finish under green. We put on a good show tonight. There was a lot of good green flag racing, a lot of good racing up front and then back. Whatever it finished, other than green or yellow, I'm just happy to finish in the top three. That was a fun night for me.
It was a good, strong finish for sure, going into the chase here. But, you mentioned about Martin Porter pushing you and him maybe running a little short on gas. Was that something that was regular or is that something that a lot of trucks were looking at, or was fuel really not an issue?
Fuel wasn't an issue for me. I had plenty. I had like 2 gallons left there at the end, so I was good to the end. But like I said, if Martin was to run out, I was just going to try to stay on Dale's bumper the rest of the way of the race and see how it folded out there at the end.
Kind of playing it safe from that third place position. Anybody you want to give shout outs to there?
Definitely want to give a shout out to Fast Lane Racing. That's a team. We're a team effort. We all work on our setups together, try to get our trucks fast and our cars fast for the races. Some of them didn't have a very good night. I had a pretty good night, I want to thank my son for being my pit helper here. He was hit my keys for me here at the end, Shane, and telling me how many miles I had left, how much gallon I had fuel left I had left, and I was pretty happy that he helped me out tonight, so I didn't have to take my hands off the wheel all night long.
Certainly a good finish, and certainly helps to have somebody else there that can kind of second you. But it's tough running this track. I know. I've raced with you a little bit, but it's certainly a good finish, and we enjoyed having you out there.
Thank you, Marcus. And I also like to say I want to thank Cora for everything they do for us racers, guys. Cora's a great outfit out here, and I really enjoy being here.
Cora is a great outfit, and all right, Martin, Everett. Talking about Martin Porter there for a minute, but Everett, you are taking home a third. Congratulations, and me, I'm gonna try and find myself a hot dog stand down here. I heard Daytona food's good.
Daytona. Everett, Fast Lane, finishing third tonight in Daytona food. Definitely not one to be trifled with, ever. And as far as all of the racetracks we go out here goes, I should say, as far as food goes. Points unofficial as of this time, but we do know 3 things for sure. Dale Smalley, Michael Churchma, Dallas Miracle will start in the top 3 when we go to the chase in 1 week's time. And it's been one incredible season so far that will be decided in three races to finish this season. Alan, what are your thoughts going into the last 3 races of the season?
What are my thoughts? It's going to be interesting, and it's anybody's game. With that Indy Richmond there as a wild card in the middle of it there between the trucks at Charlotte and the trucks at Daga, throwing that Indy car there in the middle, it's going to be it's definitely, like Dale and Dallas both said, that's definitely going to be the wild card. But I think another wild card is that I don't think there's any of them in the points, but looking forward to next season, Storm Motorsports being back early on in the race, them guys were stout, and I think they're going to come back next season and give Dale and Dallas and them guys a run for their money.
Marcus Babb currently in the line for that half-price food food at the end of the night. Real quick, your thoughts about what we saw tonight and what we're going to see in the chase in 1 week's time.
It's going to be interesting. I think the racing certainly isn't going to fall off none. These guys are going for a good bit of pocket change. I don't know that I can't seem to remember the exact figure. I got the smell of hot dogs and chili that's kind of blocking my brain at the moment. But I think it's around the market of $150 these guys are shooting for. So I don't think the racing is going to fall off none. I think it's going to be a good, strong chase right out to the end.
It's going to be 3 races to watch at the end of the season this year. Don't forget, next week we're back on the air at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coles Wheelberg Truck Center Charlotte 200 in the trucks on December 1st, 2013. 8 p.m. start. You won't want to miss that. 1 week after that, it's the Berkey Painting and Sandblasting Richmond Indy 150. The Indy cars coming to Richmond for the first time in this series. That'll be a fun race to watch. And then the season finale on December 15th, the Marks Competition card in Talladega, 101 miles to finish what has been started 4 months ago on August when we went racing from Daytona. Plenty of racing left to be had. We hope you'll join us for then. Until we speak again, on behalf of all of our entire broadcast team, our executive producer, Laura Lawson, my partners in crime, Alan Larson and Marcus Babb, we congratulate Dallas Miracle on the big win here at Daytona International Speedway. Have a happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in 1 week's time when we go racing in the trucks from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coles Wheelberg Truck Center Charlotte 200. Good night, everybody.